Hey everybody, welcome back to Next Play Records, and I'm Andy, and today's video is special to me. It's my favorite genre of music for most of my life. It's country music, and this is the Country Music Vinyl Tag 2021 that was started by Hedley at Another Fat Bearded Man Talking About Records. It's his YouTube channel. I love it. He does great. He's been in the VC for a long time, well before me. And I've just now started to go back through some of his older videos. He loves country music. A lot of it's rare, country funk, some of the stuff that you don't hear on the radio, obviously, which is, I like that. So I'm excited to do the country music vinyl tag after I did my jazz vinyl tag, which those are my two favorite genres of music. So I'm excited about this. And they take up the majority of my vinyl collection. So I believe I have over 100 jazz records, but I have close to 100 country records. So this was fun to dig through. I'm going to start with the oldest country record that I have. That was this first prompt. And I'm going to show you this is the oldest recordings that I have. It'd be Hank Williams, his stuff back well before, in the 40s. So this is the very best of Hank Williams. But I don't want to talk about that one a lot. A lot of people have shown Hank Williams. My oldest country pressing is this Marty Robbins Gunfighter's Ballad. This was 1962, and this is when it was released. This is a great record. I've shown this on another video, I believe, in the past, but some of my favorite songs by him, Big Iron, El Paso, are on here. So that's a great country record, 1962. That's the oldest pressing that I have. The next one is the newest record, and this is a 2020 or 2021 reissue of Zach Brown's band, Greatest Hits. Zach Brown Band, Greatest Hits so far. So this is an awesome record. It's on brown vinyl. It chicken fried, whatever it is, toes free, Highway 20 ride. I also showed this on another video, but this is my newest country record. One of my favorite, most current artists, which I don't like a lot of them, Zach Brown Band from Georgia. So, love them. It's a good record right there. Newest one. Next prompt is a country record on a country label. And this is a small country label. They probably do some bluegrass and some folk too, but this is on Blue Canyon labels. Most of the stuff on this label is country, or at least a subgenre. And this is Steve Young's Seven Bridges Road. I actually just got this from my brother last week. Great record. Tremendous country music. Great songwriter, Steve Young. But he does Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean on here. Many Rivers is a great song. Montgomery and the Rain, such a great country song. And then he's the writer of Seven Bridges Road, which was the big hit for the Eagles. So there you go. That is my record on a country music label, Blue Canyon label. The next one I have is an international country record. I don't have any international artists. Probably could dig through and find some Canadians, but overseas, I have an RCA International pressing of Guy Clark. And it's the only place you can get this, the best of Guy Clark. It uses the cover from his record, Old Number One. This has some of his best hits from the first two albums. So you have Guy Clark. This is done in the UK at RCA International. Guy Clark sings Rita Ballou, LA Freeway, She Ain't Going Nowhere, That Old Time Feeling, Texas 1947. Desperado's Waiting for a Train's an awesome song. Instant Coffee Blues. And then on side 2, Texas Cookin'. Broken Hearted People. The Last Gunfighter Ballad. Great song. Let 'Em Roll, and Like a Coat from the Cold. Classic country. Awesome singer-songwriter right here, Guy Clark. And this was my best thing for an international record because it is RCA International, pressed in Great Britain. So I was happy to get that. A lot of his original pressings are kind of rare and high dollar, so I was able to get some of the best songs from him with this cool cover. Going after this RCA International. Guy Clark, awesome country artist. A bluegrass or old-timey string band. This isn't old-timey, although they have that style, but this is one of, if not my favorite, bluegrass record of all time. And it is Steve Earle and the Del McCoury Band, The Mountain. Look at that cover. Look at those guys on there. This is classic bluegrass with Steve Earle singing these songs, who he's also obviously a Texas country guy. So this is a gatefold reissue, 2 LP. I'm not going to go through these songs, but they're great bluegrass songs sung by a Texas singer-songwriter, Steve Earle. And this is an unbelievable record. If you've never heard it, you need to get it. If you love bluegrass at all, you would love this album. So there's my bluegrass representative for this vinyl tag. Steve Earle and the Del McCoury Band, The Mountain. Next one. A record from the artist that you have the most of in your collection. And I have 14 or 15 LPs from this guy. Willie Nelson was close at 9, and Townes Van Zandt was close at 8, I believe. But my winner is my favorite country artist of all time, George Strait. And this one is one that I haven't shown a lot when I've talked about George Strait. But this is George Strait's second album, his debut album, which is probably, when I read the songs off here, one of his best albums of all time. No sophomore slump here. Straight from the Heart, great song title. Album title. Young George Strait right there on the cover. So 14 or 15 LPs I have of his. This is one of my favorites. It has Full Hearted Memory, Honky Tonk Crazy, I Can't See Texas From Here, Marina Del Rey, Heartbroke, Amarillo by Morning, and A Fire I Can't Put Out. So some of his classics from the early 80s are on his second album of all time. And I love it. I love it. If I had to pick one, this is probably my favorite George Strait record on the MCA label. So George Strait is the country artist I have the most of, and I wouldn't have it any other way because I absolutely love him. And I love this record from MCA. I better not do that. I'm going to rip the sleeve. Okay, we'll put this down right here. Next one, a live country record. Live country record. I had a few to choose from, but I wanted to go with this one because it's a great recording. He sounds awesome on here. It's also an artist that I wanted to show, and it is the famous Dwight Yoakam, California Boy. Kind of a country rockabilly sound to him. One-of-a-kind voice. And this is a great live set in Austin, Texas. Guitars and Cadillacs. Home of the Blues, 1,000 Miles. Little Ways, Honky Tonk Man, Streets of Bakersfield, Buenos Noches from a Lonely Room, Always Late with Your Kisses, Little Sister, I Sang Dixie. Just a great set. Awesome live album. And cool gatefold. This was pressed or made from New West Records, which they've done a few country live albums. Also, Waylon Jennings, I think, has one from them. Willie Nelson has a few from them. So, Dwight Yoakam, live at Austin, Texas, is my live country album to show for this vinyl tag. Duo, or duet. This one's easy for me, and I haven't seen anybody use them yet. But this is the best duet country group of all time, in my opinion. Brooks and Dunn's close, probably, with #1 hits and things like that. But the Judds, mother-daughter. This is the Judds' greatest hits. This is a great duet. Greatest hits from the Judds. Why Not Me, Rockin' with the Rhythm of the Rain, Have Mercy, Change Your Heart, Girls Night Out, Love Is Alive, Mama He's Crazy, Give a Little Love, Grandpa Tell Me About the Good Old Days. Those are just some of the best country songs that you'll hear. And this is a great duet of Winona and Naomi. They had a great career, and I was happy to have this greatest hits in my collection. So the Judds are my official duet record. All right. I skipped the box set, and this is the only country box set that I have. I think my brother also showed the same one, but this is the Legacy Garth Brooks. Happy to get some of these great albums on vinyl. I actually have them out of the box and in my collection. There's No Fences, which you can see right there. But you also have The Chase, In Pieces, Fresh Horses, and then a triple live album from Yankee Stadium. So Garth Brooks' Legacy. I'm looking forward to maybe a volume 2 from him that has some of his first album and then a couple of other really good ones would be nice. If he does another one with 4 LPs, I think everybody would be satisfied with the output on those box sets. And they're always a good price too. Next I have is a record that you would recommend to a new fan. All right, I'm going to do 2 for this one. First one would be a classic country from Willie Nelson. I got to show Willie Nelson. And this is a great one that you could show to a new fan of country music. And this is his greatest hits and some that will be. So they'd be able to hear Georgia on My Mind. If you've got the money, I got the time. Uncloudy Day. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. My heroes have always been cowboys. Help me make it through the night. So he redoes a lot of classic country on here, but then he does some of his own songs as well. On the Road Again's on here. So this is a great double LP, Willie Nelson Greatest Hits. But I was thinking about kind of merging that classic country. If I was going to show a new fan, this record I'm about to show has an awesome cover, great hits on it. It's a classic country sound from this guy that kind of bridges you into the modern country, but keeps you in that traditional sense. And I picked, if I was going to pick a non-compilation, Randy Travis, Storms of Life. Check out that cover. This is a great record from the late 80s. It was from 1986. And it has, on the other hand, it has Storms of Life, which is the title track, and it's a great song. Digging Up Bones, we've all heard that one. No Place Like Home, unbelievable country song. 1982, which, if you haven't heard that, check it out. Reasons I Cheat, awesome song. And there'll always be a honky tonk somewhere. So, I mean, this would, like I said, this would be that traditional sound that would bridge some modern country. Tons of hits, catchy tunes with Digging Up Bones and On the Other Hand, 1982. This is a great one that I would give somebody that really hasn't listened to a lot of country, that's a new fan. Check out Randy Travis. Check out Storms of Life. Awesome record. And it's I love the cover. I could have put this as my favorite cover, but that one's coming up next. The back is cool too. It shows the store at night, store during the day, but this isn't my favorite cover, although it's one of them. Randy Travis, Storms of Life would be a nice one to recommend to a new fan of country music. Now, my favorite country cover. There's tons to choose from. I happen to like a lot of country, but these back in the day were better. And this is a Texas country artist. This is Townes Van Zandt. Self-titled album. Look at that cover. I love the boots, the way his legs are crossed, his hands resting, the cool kitchen, the nice painted door, everything hanging up above him in the kitchen there. I mean, it's just a solid cover that you could just stare at, and a little old-timey scale. There's just tons of things you could look at. I'll give you all a good view of it. Townes Van Zandt, what an awesome album. One of his top 2 or 3 he ever released. And, you know, he's a Texas country, folk country, whatever you want to call it. But he's a singer-songwriter that is definitely country. Lungs, I'll Be Here in the Morning, Fare Thee Well, Miss Carousel. Some of the best ones on side 1, or side 2. Side 1 has For the Sake of the Song, Columbine, Waiting Around to Die, Colorado Girl, Don't Take It Too Bad. So definitely one of my favorite country albums of all time in general, but cover, so solid. Check it out one more time. Townes Van Zandt, my favorite country cover. All right, next one we have is a 7-inch. My 7-inch is an artist that I like to show since we're at the country tag here. And it is a single, double-sided, obviously. And this is Tracy Lawrence. This was one that I was really happy to find, because sometimes when you find a 7-inch like this or a 45, you'll have the song that you really wanted, and then the other side is kind of it's a B-side, right? This one has Alibis, which was one of his biggest hits in the 90s. Tracy Lawrence Alibis on Atlantic. And then on the other side, one of my favorite songs from him, Somebody Paints the Wall. So Tracy Lawrence, Alibis, and Somebody Paints the Wall. That's my 7-inch representative for the vinyl tag. I love Tracy Lawrence. He didn't have a real long career. I think he tried to come back in the mid 2000s, late 2000s maybe. But there for about a 4 or 5 year stretch, he was at the top of his game. So Tracy Lawrence is my 7-inch. Excuse me. Small label. And I hope this counts because most of their work, which Townes Van Zandt was a big part of it, on the Poppy label. That's my small label. Okay? And it's small. Folk, a lot of folk, a lot of country. Yeah, so back at it. My small label is Poppy. I had a little cough there. I had to pause the video, but Poppy label, and this is Chris Smither, which is a folk country artist, also from Georgia, I believe, maybe Florida. But Chris Smither, Don't It Drag On, awesome album. Poppy is just one of the best looking labels that you can get, and most of them are kind of rare and valuable, but that's the Poppy label. Chris Smither, Don't It Drag On. That's my small label representative for country music. I would say Chris Smither is probably more of a folk than a country, but he's been influenced tons by Townes Van Zandt and guys like that. So there you go. That's my representative for small label on this tag. All right, grails. I got 2 again. The official prompt was a grail that you were happy to find. Okay, so this first one I'm going to show, I didn't find it. It was a gift from my brothers. Christmas, we do pretty much grails. Like each brother will go in and 25, 30 bucks each and find a grail. I believe they got this for around 45 or 50 bucks. This is Keith Whitley, Don't Close Your Eyes, OG, on the RCA label. This is one of his best records, maybe his best record. It's debatable with another couple of them, but this is a grail. It's worth way more than what they paid for. They found a great deal on it, and I was so happy that they got this for me. Definitely one of my country grails. I think if I put all my country on Discogs in order from median value, I believe this one's at the top. It's getting close to 80 bucks maybe. So that's pretty high for a 1988 pressing. So Keith Whitley, Don't Close Your Eyes. Awesome record. Awesome grail to have in my collection. Everybody knows Don't Close Your Eyes, but it has other great songs on it. Some of his bigger singles, I'm No Stranger to the Rain, I Never Go Around Mirrors, When You Say Nothing at All. So this is one of my best records in my whole collection. So definitely a grail I wanted to show. But happy to found this with a seller online, and this is Billy Joe Shaver, Old Five and Dimers Like Me. And this record is tremendous. This isn't an OG, but it's an early reissue promo. So I was able to find a promo copy. It's got the gold label stamp promo on the new, I think this is when they first came up with a new Monument label. But just a great record. Billy Joe Shaver, classic Texas country, singer-songwriter, worked his tail off to become what he was in the genre, and he's definitely at the top of my list as one of my favorite Texas singer-songwriters. So Billy Joe Shaver record, Old Five and Dimers Like Me, that's a great song, but it also has LA Turnaround, Jesus Christ, What a Man, I've Been Down to Georgia on a Fast Train, Low Down Freedom, Jesus Was Our Savior, and Cotton Was Our King, and Bottom Dollar. Just awesome country music. I love country music, and I hope that these vinyl tags will send people into the more obscure stuff like this that is so much better than what you'll hear on the radio nowadays. So Billy Joe Shaver, that's a grail. Alt country or country rock. I mean, this one's easy. Country rock, my favorite probably. Flying Burrito Brothers, Gilded Palace of Sin, and you can make this cover. That's country right there. There's Graham Parsons. He's the one that kind of joined the Flying Burrito Brothers and brought his country roots to it. But this record, man, it's some solid country songs in that folk rock, country rock subgenre. But this is country rock for sure, and I'm going to count it as my favorite country rock album. Gilded Palace of Sin, the Flying Burrito Brothers. Some of my favorite songs on here: Do Right Woman, Will's Hot Burrito 1 and Hot Burrito 2. Do You Know How It Feels? Great songs. Great songs. This was a great reissue here. Sounds awesome. I believe it was done by Music on Vinyl, but A&M record label. So there's my country rock, Flying Burrito Brothers. I think that's a good entry for this tag. Next one I have is subgenre, and I'm going to go with folk country as my subgenre. And it is Willis Allen Ramsey. I don't know, tons of people probably don't know about him, but this is some really good folk country right here. Willis Allen Ramsey does songs like Boy from Oklahoma, Angel Eyes, Northeast Texas Women, Painted Lady, some of my faves, and then Ballad of Spider John, such a cool song. Muskrat Love, that's kind of cool. Missoula, awesome country subgenre here from Willis Allen Ramsey. Let y'all get a look at that again. I don't know that anybody else will show that on this vinyl tag, so look him up. If you had to go look at one song right now, I would say go to Ballad of Spider John or Boy from Oklahoma. Willis Allen Ramsey. Check him out. And the last one is my favorite repress, and I've shown this one and I've played it on Instagram for people. It's my favorite repress because it's so old. 64, I believe, is when it was recorded, but Analog Productions did such a good job on this record. It just so good, in the bass, the fidelity out of it, the crispness of Tennessee Ernie Ford's voice. But this is Tennessee Ernie Ford, Country Hits and Feeling Blue, 33 1/3 from Analog Productions, and they make it sound better than the original. And this one, I was blown away when I heard it, but the songs on here are great too. Before this, I really kind of looked at Tennessee Ernie Ford as a kind of a gospel singer, but he's so good on these country songs. No Letter Today is so good. Born to Lose, that's a classic song. Don't Rob Another Man's Castle. Worried Mind. Funny How Time Slips Away. He does a great job on that song. Sweet Dreams does a great job on that song. And Tears on My Pillow. But more than anything, this is my favorite reissue because it's such a high quality. And it was a good deal from Analog Productions for the 33 1/3 one disc. So if it comes available again, if it's printed again, get it. But right now I don't think it's in stock. But if you love country music, I know you can find one of these originals for probably $8 to $10, but for $35, the sound you're going to get right here is ridiculous. So my favorite repress, country repress, Tennessee Ernie Ford. And that's it. That's my country vinyl tag. I appreciate y'all stopping by. And until next time, keep spinning that next play.